Check, check, check. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Well, welcome to the Athlete Institute in Mono, Ontario. A new generation for Orangeville Prep basketball as far as the national team goes. The first OSBA home game for Coach Larry Blunt as he takes over the Orangeville squad. And it's a bit of an abbreviated squad tonight. Bunch of guys are healthy scratches. They just were in Salt Lake at that new Nike, what is it, the EYBL League, and so some guys are getting rest tonight, so a bit of a shortened roster for Orangeville. We'll get into that in just a minute. And the visitors, Jay Addison, coming up from Markham, Ontario. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Well, a year ago when Jay Addison came up to this building, they were a new program into the OSBA. Didn't know much about them. And then a guy named Ibrahima Sacco came into this gym and just destroyed Orangeville. Unbelievable performance. And he's now playing down at Georgia Tech. We'll talk about him during the broadcast as well. So I don't know if we're doing anthems or anything like that or introductions. I believe we are going to do intros. So once we get that rolling, I'll stay quiet for a few moments while the in-house announcer gets to it. So this is the longest I've had to wait to call an Orangeville national team game anyways. We had 2 home games, OSBA home games, canceled in October. And so this is my first look at these guys. I came to watch them practice what seems an eternity ago. I don't know, about 6 weeks ago maybe now, maybe even longer. But I haven't seen them play an actual game, so this is my first look at them as well. And then my first look at this version of Jay Addison this season. Plenty of new pieces, a couple familiar faces. Orangeville, very few familiar faces. Well, there's your lineup introduction starting for Orangeville. Number 1, Torian Lee. Number 3, Oliver Angen. 4, J.C. Brooks. 13, Owen Kenny. And 15, Caden Stuckey. Starting for the visitors, Jay Addison in their blue with yellow and white trim uniforms. Number 1, Ethan Aris. Number 8, Xavier Snag. 11, Tony Izanu. 13, Muhammad Mahadi. And 14, Eternity Igwagi. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. As mentioned, a new chapter of Orangeville basketball gone. Longtime head coach Tony McIntyre replaced by a familiar face in Larry Blunt, who makes his return back to Orangeville after many years down in the NCAA as an assistant with Canisius, Drake, and then most recently at Oklahoma State. Well, here we go. Tip-off on. Orangeville wins. Torian Lee. Ball in his hand to J.C. Brooks. Owen Kenny with his first touch. Owen on the provincial team last year. One of their star players now with the national squad. And up and under, Caden Stuckey with the shot clock winding down. Misses on his first try. Muhammad Mahadi showing his handle. Izanu. Shot clock winding down, ball bouncing around. And there's only 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Still going to be Jay Addison ball, so they got to hurry. Something quick. Mahadi inbounds. So it's a catch and shoot. And it's put up, snag. It hit rim, so the ball still should be live. It is. And see whose ball is it? Still Jay Addison ball. Surprising. Mahadi inbounds. Izanu. Iguagi. Underneath, shot clock winding down. He's got to recognize Izanu does get it up. No good. Engen. Lee, all the way from BC, just too casual with that. You don't need style points on a basic pass like that. Zanu. Oh, wide open lay-in. Muhammad Mahadi. And one. Nice little backdoor cut. And then Mahadi with the finish. And it looks like J.C. Brooks will pick up the foul. So Mahadi, all the way from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Can't convert, but Orangeville doesn't box out, and doesn't matter anyway. Izano gives it right back to them. Owen Kenny with the steal. Good ball movement from Orangeville. Kenny for three. Welcome to the game. Owen Kenny, bang. 3-2. Oh, and again, another backdoor cut, and Iguagi this time. Eternity Iguagi. Orangeville asleep at the wheel defensively in the opening moments. Just losing track of guys in blue jerseys. Stuckey. Engen. Ollie cuts into his left hand. Nice lay-in. Oliver Engen. 5-4 for the hometown Orangeville Prep Bears. 7:35 to go first quarter. Izanu lost a handle on it. Lee comes diving. Could have been over and back, but wasn't, allegedly. Mohammadi from the free throw line. Excuse me, Mahadi. Kenny thought about the catch and shoot, attacks off the glass, rolls all the way around and drops. Owen Kenny, quick start for Owen. He's got 5 points already. 7-4 Orangeville. Iguagi. Orangeville's got really good size. That's one thing that really impressed me when I came up to watch a couple weeks back, is some big boys, a lot of length. And Mahadi tossed that one into the stands. Was mentioned off the top, Orangeville with an abbreviated roster. Number of guys healthy, scratched if you're just tuning in. Boys were down in Utah at Salt Lake in that Nike League. And so, ooh, Stuckey misses on his dunk. Yeah, a lot of load management happening tonight. Eternity Agwagi doesn't drop, knocked out of bounds. And it's going to be Orangeville ball. Well, drop me a line if you are out there on the YouTube stream. Let me know how the sound has been coming in. It was good on Tuesday when I was up here doing the provincial team game, but horrible last week when I was up here. It's way too loud and staticky. So either drop me a mention on Twitter at Mr. McKee, because I can't see those YouTube comments, so hit me up on Twitter at Mr. McKee, MRMCKEE. Lee, pocket picked. Get your phones out. Caden Stuckey, two-handed dunk. (9-4) under 6 minutes to go. Eris leaves it for Igwagi. He regroups, attacks, kick out, lovely. Tony Azanu wide open, but it doesn't go. And here comes Orangeville the other way. Wide open look, Brooks, why not? You got to take the shot, though. Yeah, it looks like Caden Stuckey, a little too anxious trying to get that rebound, and he's called with a foul. So for the first time tonight, we're going to see number 11, Ethan Brown for Orangeville, fresh off his commitment to Colgate University. It's been a really good program over the past couple of years, number of NCAA appearances. What are they? I think they're in the Patriot League, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, I did make a mistake the other night. I'll call myself out on it. I said Central Arkansas, which is where Arden Bega is going to be headed to, but they actually switched conferences to the Atlantic Sun. So I got one wrong on Tuesday, forgive me, but they were in the Southland for many years. J.C. Brooks with a lay-in. 11 for Orangeville out quick in spite of their shortened roster. A lovely feed inside. Pump fake and then denied. That's A.J. Osman is fouled. He's just come off the bench. Also, number 6, Isaiah Flores out there getting his first minutes for Jay Addison. And Osman to the line. You know, I did my game notes yesterday, researched all the players, Google everyone. Not a lot of info on Osman, even on the OSBA site. Usually they give you maybe height and graduating year, not even that, so forgive me. And a lot of the kids, you know, even you check out their Instagram, my son does this too, where they have an Instagram and they're following 2,000 people, but they don't post any pictures or anything. So you don't know, he's posting their story, but unless you're following them, you can't see. So normally you just look, hey, you can see pictures of where the kids played before, maybe any visits they've taken to universities, none of that. Osman, no good. Rebound, Ethan Brown. So Brown from Peterborough, Ontario. Also played some volleyball. You can see just right off the bat, he's got hops, and Yannifelli, seeing his first action, stepped out of bounds. Tough pass from Brown. And Flores will inbound. Seen Muhammad Mahadi up here last year. What a feed. And that's got to be a travel, it is. And Nana Mayel, number 23, getting his first minutes and then travel right away. 4:29 to go. All Orangeville in the opening minutes. Pull up from Kenny. Ooh. Well, he didn't call glass. but we'll take it. And that's another three, so Kenny now 2 threes. He's got 8 points. Mahadi had his pocket picked, but it's still going to be Jay Addison ball. Looks like substitutions. We're going to see TJ St. Louis. First action, the 7-footer from Brampton. He's just a 2026, a youngster. Big boy. Zanu. And it looks like some miscommunication. It looks like the other guy was supposed to cut with him. Osman didn't. Or at least Izanu thought he was supposed to. No turnover. So something to do with the scorer's table. No, Jay Addison wants a timeout. Well, I was waiting for that. Still out of sorts. Just 4 points on the board for Jay Addison with 3:49 to go. They're struggling in the opening minutes, being reckless with the ball. A lot of turnovers. The boys look a little sluggish to start. Meanwhile, Orangeville, luck on their side. Owen Kenny just hit that 3 off the glass. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to click subscribe to the Red Orangeville YouTube page, the red button below. Stay up to date on all things Orangeville Prep. We'll still drop a follow on Instagram, Twitter, whatever your preferred social media site is. We'll check my Twitter, see if any issues with sound. Anyone hit me up? No, not yet. So looks like all is good. Back to it. We'll see if Jay Addison can settle their nerves. So there's Oliver Engen out there. I had him join me. I saw him sitting in front of me on the stands Tuesday night. He was just sitting watching the provincial team. I said, well, you want to make your broadcasting debut? Let's go. So dragged him up. Did the third quarter with me the other night. There's Ollie with the ball in his hand. A pull-up jumper. And tapped in. It looks like TJ St. Louis gets his first basket. 16-4. Well, when you're 7 foot, that's the kind of baskets you can make your living with. Osman had to look, didn't want to kick out. Flores from the corner. No good. Rebound St. Louis. Kenny. Yanafelli. Underneath to St. Louis, and he missed on the dunk. Afelli gets it back, switches to his left hand, and A.J. Osman comes away with it. Pull up Mahadi from deep. No good. Orangeville ball. Ethan Brown in the corner. And Kenny mistimed his jump on that rebound. Jay Addison the other way. Mahadi's wide open, take it. That little hesitation is what cost him that basket. Don't let the doubt creep in. Owen Kenny hammers it down. Two-handed Owen Kenny out quick. That's 10 for him in the opening quarter. 18-4. And denied, but it's a foul. I don't know if that was St. Louis or Afeni that got the block. But either way, foul called. So Tony Zanu shoots free throws. So Izanu plays for Ireland internationally. He was a 2020, I think, the Irish Junior Player of the Year. hitting a couple free throws. 18-6. So Jay Addison still without Ibrahima Sanu. Saw him dribbling. He's been injured for a while. But looked pretty good just in the warm-up, messing around, shooting balls. So hopefully a return to action soon. Didn't get to see him last year either up here. He did act as my translator for my interview with Ibrahima Sacco. Afeni. Little finger roll. Yanafeni. You can see he's got some crazy hops. That was effortless for him just to get up and elevate, and a little finger roll. 26. And should be white ball. No, there's every call, Blues getting down that end. So a bit of a chilly evening up here in Orangeville, but for this time of year, you'll take it. Normally snow coming down pretty hard, late November, so we'll take just a little bit of cold. Zanu, Tony Zanu gets by Kieran Mullen, who just made his first appearance. Engen, the point guard. Orangeville's got numbers, and just the pass was way too hard from Ethan Brown, and now he pays for it as he got one right in the you-know-where. So that's going to sting for a minute. He should be all right. But we know how that goes. It hits, it stings for a little bit, and then it'll go away. So we'll see if he's going to take a breather. He will. He should be all right. Yeah, he's fine. Owen Kenny comes in. But yeah, the pass just way too hard. Orangeville had a 3-on-1 and didn't finish. Zion Messam, ball in his hand. His first minutes tonight for Jay Addison. $1:10 to go in the quarter. And just dribbled it off his teammate's foot. Torian Lee. Lee from Surrey, BC, one of the new Orangeville Prep Bears. Yanafeni. So three of the guys out there new. Owen Kenny and Engen, the only returners. Oh my goodness! Sneaks in the back door. Yanafeni, welcome to Orangeville. Well, I was just talking about how impressed I was with his hops and athleticism, and right on cue shows you why. Kick out, Zion Messam, and he's off. So some of the stuff I'm seeing online from the scouts that I follow, like Wes Brown and Josh Milligan, they were all been praising Yanafeni, some of the games they've gone and caught him with, so was curious to see what he looked like up close. Really impressed. Owen Kenny off on his three. Shot clock winding down. Zano, will he recognize? It's up. It should be good if it counts. And it drops. Tony Zanu at the buzzer. So a little bit of luck and hope Jay Addison gets as the clock expires with Tony Zanu's three. He had his head down and was like, is he going to recognize everyone on the bench screaming at him? He was calm and cool. And then got that almost Kawhi Leonard-esque roll. The ball just hung on that rim for an eternity and then dropped in for the three. So at the end of one, Orangeville leads 22-11. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Remember, drop me a follow on Twitter at Mr. McKee. And also on my Instagram, my Hoops1 undrafted_FA. Or you can just check out undraftedfreeagent.com, my website. Be getting some interviews and posting them post-game. Well, not tonight, maybe tomorrow. Suits me. Be able to try to get at least one player from each team. And then I usually post that on my undrafted_FA. Got a bit of time tomorrow in the day to get to it. So I got a nice message on my way up here. My son texts me and said I'm coming home. Be home because he's up at university in Sault Ste. Marie at Algoma University. He says I'm coming home till Monday. So it's like awesome. So by the time I'm done here, knock on wood, hopefully get home at a similar time. I haven't seen him in, when did I last see him? Well, I guess a little over about 5 or 6 weeks ago when he was playing soccer. We were playing down at Guelph last game of the season, so it was about the last time. Nice surprise to have Junior coming home for the weekend. Any college basketball fans, you can check out my podcast, undraftedfreeagent.com. The college basketball podcasts on Spotify, iTunes. It's not on iHeart. My golf one is, but not my basketball one, but Amazon, Google, all of that stuff. I was top 30 in downloads for last season. I was like a couple spots behind John Rothstein, believe it or not. He was like 25. I was like 28, 29, something like that. So, but what happens is you hardly get any downloads during the regular season. It's very, unless it's a good coach interview. I've interviewed a bunch of coaches. And then as soon as March hits, the downloads go into the thousands upon thousands, because that's when everyone, they got their bracket. They want to get some info. And so it's kind of a weird hustle. And tripped up Messam. Iguagi, no basket, a travel call before. Yeah, I think it's a weird hustle where, you do make all these podcasts all season, nothing really happens, so very little traffic, and then March comes, and then boom. And then Messam steals it. Read that well. Eris. And then looks like a foul off the ball on Kieran Mullen. Well, substitution. A.J. Osman back in. Messam. And just let it roll out of his hands. Kieran Mullen says thank you. Good ball movement. Engen's wide open. Could really lean into that. Bang, Ollie Engen. And he had all day to take it, and just perfect form on that one. No rush, why not? Jay Addison's got to tighten their D. You can't give those kind of looks to a guy like Engen, just wide open. So Ollie now, third year up in Orangeville, has really blossomed into a heck of a player. It's funny because when he was standing next to me the other night in the booth, you realize, man, he's grown quite a bit. He's a good 6'4", 6'5". Oh, nice feed, and it was just too hot for Iguagi, and now a wrestling match is broken out. Here comes Orangeville, and Mullen tossed it to Izano. Mullen's got to settle down. Watch him in the warm-up. He looked great. He's got great size and length. He's been a little reckless with the ball. Gets a rebound. Engen again. He's just hit one. Make it back-to-back. It doesn't drop, though. And that should have been blue ball. Mullen was the last guy to touch it, but a gift from the ref. TJ St. Louis back in. So I'm seeing Dave Barrow basically coaching tonight, so I'm not sure what's going on. He's running all the timeouts, even the pregame. Lee trying to shake Jordan Bates. Shot clock winding down. Someone's got to get it up. Engen recognizes, at least hits rim, and then Kenny gets the rebound. Take it, Ollie. He had the wide open look and passed it up. Stuckey, left-handed jump shot. Doesn't fall. And then Lee ripped away. Take it. You just stole it. Why not? Torian Lee. Exactly. You make the steal. You get the right to take that shot. Torian Lee, big three. So Lee's been a part of Team Canada, the U16 level. He's got a sister, Deja, that plays at UC Irvine, also with Team Canada. Athletic family. And a travel Jordan Bates, who's just come into the game. Orangeville cruising here, up 28-11. Jay Addison just all out of sorts. surprising. You know, Jay Addison, one of the top teams in the country last season. I did the play-by-play for the OSBA championships, and they were in the Final Four. Well, not their best night tonight. Lee, impressed with what I've seen from him in this first half. And Caden Stuckey, emphatic. Everyone loving that on the Orangeville bench in the stands. Big dunk, Caden Stuckey. And then back the other way, St. Louis just stands there with his hand in the way and does enough to obstruct the shot. And a turnover. And now Jay Addison. And one. It was a hard foul. Ethan Aris, and he wasn't too pleased with Torian Lee foul of him. Hey, man, it's OSBA. No easy baskets. So Ethan Aris, he's a 2026. A lot of high school hoops left. Torian Lee's family tuned in on the live stream out in BC. And that's knocked out of bounds by Aris. Eason Brown back in after his unfortunate minor injury a couple minutes ago. Mentioned Brown announced his commitment to Colgate during the week, so congrats to him and his family. Lee to St. Louis, and then denied. And the big man gets it back. Kenny, he's been red hot in the first half, keeps it up. Owen Kenny, another three. Wow, he's feeling it. So Kenny, a part of the BioSteel next ones the end of last year. Orangeville gave it away, and then Ethan Brown comes back to save the day. So for any time Jay Addison's had an opportunity, it's almost like they immediately want to give the ball right back to Orangeville. If I'm Jay Addison, I think they need to just slow down, like milk the shot clock, try to lull Orangeville to sleep in a way, instead of trying to play with their tempo, because they can't run with them, it seems, tonight. Just slow them down, take your shots with about 3 or 4 seconds left. Izanu, quick shot, it doesn't go. You got to try and get Orangeville out of their rhythm. And Ethan Brown took his eyes off the ball and dribbled the ball out of bounds. Well, Jay Addison wants a timeout. I talk about this all the time. North Texas, a guy named Grant McCaslin. He was the North Texas head coach for many years. Took them to March Madness going back, 2 years ago. And now he's at Texas Tech. And so they just, every single possession, they won't take a shot until there's 3 or 4 seconds left on the shot clock. So all their games, you'll see about 52-48. Will never score 80, 90 points, never mind 100. And they almost lull their opponents to sleep. I think Jay Addison needs to adopt a bit of that right now instead of the gurus of go. Well, 33-14, all Orangeville, all Owen Kenny, mostly in the first half. He's been on fire. Good to see his progression. You know, last year's, he's one of the better players on that provincial squad that obviously didn't get as many results as they'd like. And now sometimes when you're surrounded by more talent, it allows your talent to flourish a lot more, and Owen Kenny definitely a benefactor of that. Owen from Barrie, Ontario. To 2025, so definitely his stock is rising. Here we go. Christian Kwame seeing his first minutes as well, number 0 for Jay Addison. Well, wait, the other guys, if it ain't working for them, throw someone else out there. See if they're feeling it tonight. Osman, and again, and that was just a tough pass. He threw it right at his teammate's feet. Well, lots of Orangeville alumni in action over the past couple of weeks, playing NCAA and NBA. Obviously, Jamal Murray, NBA champ. Torian Lee, bingo, shows his range all the way from the 604. Kwame. Igwagi yet to get going. And it's going to be a foul on Lee, a little hip check. Good call by the referee. As you mentioned, Torian Lee. Mom played volleyball at Ryerson, which is now TMU. His dad played hoops at St. FX. National champs. Back in 93, I believe. And then good defense from Brooks. Just stood there, didn't need to jump. A lot of, especially at the high school level, you'll see guys do that, get too anxious. Brooks didn't, just planted his feet, put his hands up, and got in the way of the shot. Kenny thought about it. Hey, the way he's feeling it tonight, don't think about it, just put it up, Owen. Lee step back three. And no good. Blue ball. 4:12 to go. Nana Mael also back out there. Kick out. Kwame, why not? No good. Rebound St. Louis. Engen slows things down. Wally from Kingston. Talked to him the other night. Said a guy from Kingston, Ontario, never played hockey growing up. Engen, he's got to recognize, does put it up as the shot clock was expiring. Well, that's a rarity. Dudes in that neck of the woods never playing hockey. Igwagi, kick out, good ball movement. Oh, you had it. And the extra pass, Kwame. Oh, just doesn't drop for him. That's Jay Addison's night in a microcosm right there. This one's no good. Ethan Aris pushes it up. For Eternity Igwagi, and it finally goes. 20-point lead for Orangeville in the opening half. Orangeville's been good, just more Jay Addison shooting themselves in the foot. Oh, a lovely little head fake by Lee. And then Engen in the corner, swish. Ollie Engen. 39-16, it's raining threes up at Orangeville Prep. That's the thing, you know, Jay Addison has yet to get that three-point shot going. They got to get someone shooting from behind the arc. As Orangeville is coming from everywhere. Engen's got a couple threes. Kenny's got at least three, maybe four. Couple big dunks from Caden Stuckey. TJ St. Louis into the mix. So a nice balanced attack by the hometown Orangeville Prep Bears. I'm Chris McKee, appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget, drop a follow on Orangeville Prep's Instagram, Twitter. I don't know if they have a TikTok. I know they have Facebook still. I don't know if they update it, but for the Facebookers still out there, there's a dying breed, but well, a fairly quiet night up in this gym, especially for Orangeville's OSBA home debut. We'll mention some of the former Orangeville guys you can check out. Obviously in the NBA, you see Lou Dort, Oklahoma City, Jamal Murray. With the Denver Nuggets, O'Shea Brissett now with the Boston Celtics. And then on the NCAA side, you got Keyshawn Bartholomew down at Oregon. You got Jeremy Fulmina and Rory Stewart at Rhode Island. Fulmina's been on fire. He redshirted last year, some health issues, and then now it's been lights out for Rhode Island and Archie Miller opening few games. You got Tyree Samuel, who played 3 years at Seton Hall, now down and playing for the Florida Gators. Lorenzo Downey, Alabama A&M, I think it is, after a couple of years at JUCO. We got Shamar Rattan-Mays down at UNC Wilmington. Matthew Alexander Moncrief at Georgia. Ben Hendricks at Ball State. Got his first start. He's been there almost 4 or 5 years. Finally got his first start. He's had some injury issues, and so big shout out to Big Ben Hendricks and his family. And there's 30 more I'm missing. It's just some of the off the top of my head. Ethan Aris, under 2 minutes to go in the half. Izanu. And Orangeville's almost baiting them to take the three, and nobody wants. There's plenty of space for G. Addison to take threes. Alley-oop! Oh! And Afeli just couldn't convert. And then Engen rips that away. And that's got to be a travel. Kieran Mullen took about 7 steps. Are they going to count it? I don't know what the call is. I heard a whistle. I looked like a travel to me. Well, we'll find out in a moment. Time out on the floor. Well, no in-house DJ tonight. Usually like when there's some tunes bumping. Gives me something to talk about in between. So all Orangeville opening half 41-16. This is reminiscent of the Orangeville Prep 2019-20 season. Just about every game started off like this. It's been a couple years since we've seen Orangeville be that dominant. No high hopes for the Larry Blunt era. Well, traffic not too bad on the way up here today. It was a lot more challenging Tuesday night when I came up. So I even left a little earlier thinking, well, you got stuck at a Tuesday and got up here super early. So went for the Pita Pit into downtown Orangeville around the corner. Usually don't have too much time to be able to head over there, but like I said, I got here about 90 minutes early. And a shout out to all the Americans tuned in. Happy Thanksgiving. I was checking out some of the NFL this afternoon, watching Detroit, Green Bay, and caught the end of that game in the car. And then it's who Dallas, Washington was on. I don't even know who's on tonight, but hopefully I'll be able to catch some of the second half and then some of the college hoops that have been going on. Checking out Zach Edey with Purdue. They beat Gonzaga the other day. I was watching that. So Zach, obviously from Toronto. And there's Ikwagi for 2 for Jay Addison. Zach, National Player of the Year in 6 different publications. Tested the NBA draft waters and then opted to come back for senior year at Purdue. Lee, little floater, and gets a favorable bounce off the glass. Torian Lee, 43-18, 40 seconds to go in the half. Guagi, again, he had an open three and passed it up. And now tripped up. I think that was on Lee. And a wide open lane, so one of the only times Orangeville's been asleep. Eternity Aguagi lead now at 23. And there's about a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so Orangeville can't just run it out to half. Oh, lovely backdoor cut. Olienga, everything but the finish. Ay, ay, ay. And now here comes Jay Addison. I think they'd hold for the last shot. Izanu, Tony Izanu. And Afeli just didn't recognize. But hey, if you're Orangeville, you'll take that 21-point lead, 43-22. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. It's a big first half for Owen Kenny. Ollie Engen chipped in with a couple threes. Caden Stuckey as well. And then Torian Lee as well. So a lot of positives for Orangeville. For Jay Addison, not so much. They got to get it right. Someone's got to start hitting threes. Everything, too many careless passes. And every guy thinks he's Jason Kidd or Andrew Nemhard out there with these creative passes. A little bit more fundamentals and simplicity. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll see you back for the start of the second half. A little check 1-2. Welcome back to the Athlete Institute in Mono, Ontario. OSBA men's action tonight. Orangeville Prep national squad well out in front, 43-22 over the visitors. Jay Addison from Markham, Ontario. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Well, a balanced attack from Orangeville in the first half. You're just joining us. Jay Addison, not a lot going right. Well, certainly not much from three-point range. Every basket they have would seem to be a lay-in or just a clean-up off a rebound, and so they got to get the shooting revved up. Someone's got to start hitting shots. There's also, the lack of confidence, guys passing up open looks. It's like just at this point, you're down 43-22. Throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Well, on the floor for Jay Addison, number 6, Isaiah Flores, 8, Xavier Snag. Number 1 is Ethan Aris, 11, Tony Izanu, and 14, Eternity Aguagi for Orangeville. Torian Lee with the ball in his hand, number 1. 13, Owen Kenny, over and back. He just dribbled the ball over and back, not how you want to start the second half. Oliver Engen, number 3, number 15, Caden Stuckey, and number 4, J.C. Brooks. Brooks from Calgary, Alberta, previously with Edge Prep. It's a really good program. I did a couple of their games last year when we had the grind session up here. A shout out to Boo Boo Benjamin. Where'd he go? Tarleton State, I think. That dude's a player. And it was Xavier Spencer, now with Carleton, I think. Good ball movement. Brooks for 3, why not? Short. Stuckey, kick out to Lee. Second time's a charm. Torian Lee, swish. So Lee makes up for his blunder just a few moments ago and drains a big 3. And Jay Addison, Snag gets it. Flores had a 3, passed it up. And Jay Addison just can't buy a basket at the moment. Stuckey, wide open lay-in, and then a foul by Izanu. And Stuckey looked up and went, oh wow, it was a wide open lane. So Caden from Plano, Texas. Surprising, that's one of the hotbeds of high school football down in Plano. Previously was in Springfield, Missouri, playing high school ball, and as well as at Ridley. Was invited to the Team Canada U19 camp this past summer. To 2024. 47-22. 25-point lead. Aris. Attack switches to his left hand and 1. Ethan Aris. So Jay Addison not done yet. Still with a pulse. Ethan Aris attacks. That was a clever basket. Switched to his left hand and then dropped. So Aris, a youngster, 2026. Also plays AU ball with Canada Elite. Can't convert. Lee, left-handed corner pass to Owen Kenny. Doesn't go. Izanu, Flores. Yeah, it doesn't drop for him. Bounced off the top of the shot clock. But if you're Jay Addison, you still got to take those shots. You get an open look. Shoot. It's a quote, block boy JB, shoot, shoot. And Lee just gave it back to Jay Addison. And then Ethan Aris again and 1. Back to back. So Aris finding some love attacking the hoop. And he's going to have another chance at a three-point play. So Ethan Harris woke up at half. And he converts this time. Lead down to 20. So good start for Jay Addison in the second half. Lee. Engen. Kenny. Kick out. Lee's wide open. Torian Lee. Whew. All the way from Surrey, BC. Swish. So Lee heating up in the second half. He's already got a couple threes. Stuckey rips that away. Lee, why not take it? He checked. Torian Lee doesn't drop. Engen rebounds. And Ollie's in a wrestling match with Eris. And they're still going at it. And they won't, neither will give up the ball. It's almost like, you know, in the NFL when they're at the bottom of a huddle pile, they don't want to say who gave up the ball. Isn't this just a possession arrow thing? So it just doesn't matter who's holding it. Well, it's going to be Jay Addison ball. Much ado about nothing right there. Although the effort is appreciated, both players. Trying to wipe up that sweat from the two guys who were just on the floor. Izanu's wide open. Didn't want it. And then clever play by Ollie Engen. Threw it off Zion Messam. And it's going to be Orangeville ball. St. Louis. Stop, jump shot, doesn't drop. And Stuckey was down there fighting for it, along with Messam. And it's still going to be Orangeville ball. Torian Lee will inbound. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Plenty of time to set up whatever shot they want. Stuckey, and it's going to be a charge. He did. He just put his shoulder into, it was Christian Kwame. And he didn't need that because Stuckey's got easily about 4 or 5 inches on Kwame. Just turn around and shoot. Didn't need to bulldoze him. (50-27). Eris. Zanu. And just, good save by Kwame. And Izanu couldn't drop for him, though. Engen. Lee. Kenny was red hot in the first quarter. Got to get him revved up again. Shot clock's winding down. Lee, is he going to recognize? Does. It hits rim, so it's still live. And here comes Jay Addison, Zion Messam. And over top of Owen Kenny. That was a nifty basket, Zion Messam. Messam from Oshawa. Kenny in the corner. Rims out. And Kenny's going to be called with a foul. A little too aggressive trying to get his rebound back. Will Ethan Brown back in? Brown listed at 6'9". Zanu over top of St. Louis, but he really obstructs shots. He just stands there with his hands up, which is good. Don't be too aggressive. And they're having fits trying to get shots around him, over him, you name it. So when I came up to watch them practice, TJ, he was in his sweatsuit, wasn't practicing, so didn't really get a look at him. There's Ollie Engen. Little turnaround jump shot, 52-29. Zanu, no good. I mentioned if you are out there in YouTube Streamland, hit me up on Twitter at Mr. McKee. If the volume's too loud, too low, let me know. You can try and adjust. It's MRMCKEE. Engen. And it's going to drop, but it should be offensive goaltending. Brown, I don't think, touched it. It should be 3. They're only calling it a 2. Looks like they're thinking Brown did touch it. If he had to not touch it, it would have been a 3. I think Orangeville can afford that extra point at the moment. Izanu and 1. Tony Izanu still showing some fight. And Izano can't convert. Kieran Mullen can't get a handle on it, and it still be Jay Addison ball. Whoops. Went for a nice run today. A little chilly, but didn't mind it. Compared to what it's going to be for the next week or so, or next couple months probably. It was a nice day out there. And how many seconds does he get? That was about 10 to throw the ball in. Well, tomorrow should be a little bit chillier, but it's one thing I've grown to love since all the lockdown stuff. Zion Messam in the corner is when they shut all the gyms. I started running outside, and I've never stopped. I actually hadn't joined a gym in over 3 years because of all the lockdown stuff, and then just rejoined. There's Ethan Brown for 3. Orangeville just pouring it on. Well, yeah, I finally just joined a gym again 3 weeks ago because I'm just getting too fat. The running is helping, but it's not letting me lose all that weight. I usually always played men's league soccer for many years. It's pretty good leagues, and so I could always, every winter you put on 15 pounds or so, and I'd run it off. By the end of May, it was gone as soon as soccer season started, but I'm too old for the good leagues now, and I'm too competitive for the old fat guy leagues. I won't play even though I am an old fat guy. I still don't, I can't do it. So I found the second thing. Now I got the gym going, so it's been good. Went for a little workout last night in a sauna. Although gym problems, no cold water. I just had a sauna and a scalding hot shower after. It was horrible. You usually want a nice little cool down, but either way, the workout was good. Osman, wide open. Kwame didn't want it. It's Jay Addison just passing up shots, passing up threes. And then Ethan Brown called with a blocking foul. So at least Jay Addison to the free throw line. (57-32). Check out my college basketball podcast, undraftedfreeagent.com. It's on Spotify, iTunes, most major streaming sites. Also find links on the actual website, undraftedfreeagent.com. I also have any golf fans out there. I have a radio show, airs 4 times a week on Saga 960 called This Week in Golf. That's also in podcast version. Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, all of it. My golf show airs every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, Saturday at 5 p.m., and then a couple like late night reruns. I don't even know when they air them. I just know it's 4 times a week. Talked about this during the Tuesday game. I got to cover the Grey Cup this past Sunday down in Hamilton. It was a bucket list thing. I grew up playing football, coached for 8 years as well. And so that was a buzz. I went down there on the Wednesday, interviewed a bunch of the players at the media day, and then was on field Sunday post game with, like, as soon as Montreal won, I was in the mix with them all, videoing it. It was cool. And I got to see Green Day live, another bucket list thing for me. When I was a teenager, that was one of my favorite bands. So that was cool. So definitely a W for me on Sunday down in Hamilton. Really enjoyed it. Makes me think I got to get out and cover more CFL football moving ahead. Although I doubt the regular season games can match the energy. Well, not in Ontario, Hamilton, Toronto, but maybe out in Saskatchewan and Alberta they do. Speaking of football, former Orangeville player Dyson Frank, who I think he started out at Pace University in D2. Dyson was here in 2019-20 on that national championship squad. And he's in that TV show Anyone's Game that they did. And then decided he wanted to play football, played some JUCO football, and has now ended up with the Nevada Wolfpack out in the Mountain West. So pretty good football program. I think he's a tight end. So Orangeville alum, not just having success on the basketball court, on the football field as well. Eternity Agwagi, easy lay-in for Jay Addison. 2:10 to go, 57-34. Turnover. And is it a charge or a block? Block on Engen. And I don't think the basket dropped. So Eternity Agwagi. Eternity from Edmonton, Alberta, played for Team Alberta in the Canada Summer Games this summer 2022. Was previously at St. Francis Xavier High School out there. He's a 2024. Well, for those just tuning in, mentioned off the top, a lot of Orangeville players getting load management night tonight. The boys were down in Salt Lake City, Utah, in that Nike EYBL league, I think it is. So the ref getting really finicky here, ticky-tacky nonsense. They inbounded it, and now she's saying they didn't, so they're going to start it over. Well, then how did the ball get in if they didn't inbound it? Anyways. Kenny to Mullen. He had Ethan Brown wide open, and you don't want the big guys dribbling. Kieran Mullen's been reckless with the ball all night. Get it to the point guard. Little floater from Osman, doesn't drop. Mullen, another guy from BC, North Vancouver. Brown, he's out of bounds. Yeah, referee saw it. I saw it. You expect that from the visitors. Talk about it every game, but when you're one of the home players stepping out of bounds, this is your court. You should know the lines. You practice here just about every day. Situational awareness. Now, I mean, that's not costing them now, but in a bigger game, that's 2 or 3 points gone right there, and you do that 3 or... Turnover. Engen attacks and one. Ollie Engen, and he's feeling it. Ollie Engen, he's having a night. I was talking about this on Twitter a couple weeks ago when I saw some video posted on him, this is the year, you know, in years past, it's like, well, he's one of the young guys. Now he's had to take, you know, he's the point guard. He's got to take this team by the reins, and he's done a great job of that tonight. Great ball distribution. He's hit a bunch of big threes, attacking, outstanding, and then finishing with contact as well. Ollie really blossoming as a player. He's putting up some good numbers in grind session I saw as well a couple of weeks ago. And then Mahadi doesn't go. Ooh, denied. Yannifelli. His athleticism is off the charts. They got a Felly listed at 6'5", but he plays so much bigger because of his athleticism. Outstanding defense. He's had a couple big blocks tonight. And then can score as well. Osman attacks off the glass. A.J. Osman. Lovely finish. 40 seconds to go, all Orangeville. And that pass telegraphed, still going to be Orangeville ball. Engen. And then Mahadi. Oh no, it's Brooks is going to be called on a legal screen. Unneeded. But at least something going in the way of Jay Addison. Mahadi looking for room. Orangeville, they have about 4 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock, so they will have a chance for one more. It looks like a charge. Does he put his knees up? I don't know who got called with the foul. And as I said, I don't have any screens in front of me telling me points, fouls, or anything like that. Had the chance to call some Canadian Premier League soccer games this past summer for One Soccer in Canada. Games air on Fox Sports 2 in the U.S., and it's, you got 3 different producers in your ear, which is, you don't mind one. 3 gets a little annoying, but it is what it is. But then also, you know, you've got all different screens and information, all the stats providing you. This is still more enjoyable. The bigger audience on Fox Sports. Engen. And that should do it. Aguagi, a heave, but it doesn't drop. All Orangeville, they are absolutely cruising tonight in their OSBA home opener, 60-37. Well, I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget, click subscribe to the YouTube button. Stay up to date on all things Orangeville Prep. And then hit them up on Instagram, Orangeville Prep, Twitter, you name it, Facebook, and then drop a follow on my Instagram, undrafted_FA. Let's try to get some interviews post-game. I don't know. I think I'll leave the Jay Addison guys alone after this game. Trying to track down a couple of the Orangeville boys. I waited. I was trying to get an interview with David Bottomley, who's been outstanding for the provincial squad. He's a 2026. He had 43 a couple weeks ago, and he had quite a few on Tuesday as well. He was outstanding. And I waited for 15 minutes or so outside the Orangeville dressing room, and the coaches were still talking. And so I kind of gave up after a while, which I'm not a fan of the 15, 20-minute post-game speech. I've stood outside Duke's dressing room for Coach K Villanova for Jay Wright, a bunch of NCAA tournament teams, and was up in Montreal last year at the Northern Classic, interviewed 6 NCAA coaches, and not one of them goes longer than 3 or 4 minutes post-game. If you're coaching after the game, this is maybe on the lead-up, you didn't provide enough information. So 3 or 4 minutes post-game. Also, they're kids. It's like after 3 or 4 minutes, it's just you sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. Then it's nothing's getting like soaked in. Well, here we go. All Orangeville tonight. Brown. He's got Stuckey. And Osman. It looks like Kenny a little too aggressive. Will TJ St. Louis back in? TJ from Brampton. Previously at St. Marguerite de Youville. Real name, Tristan James. My son's soccer coach years ago used to do like 45-minute post-game speeches, and every parent was just livid because it's like, all right, look, yeah, game over. Let's go. We got stuff to do. It was torture. I've never seen so many kids quit sports. Like, it just sucks the life out of them. He had about 4 or 5 players quit, and then they not just the team, like just soccer altogether. Like, I don't want to deal with this. And it's funny because I bump into that coach about twice a week on my local sports bar that I go to. I see the same guy. I'm positive he's not listening to the Orangeville Prep YouTube stream. So, shot clock winding down and just didn't recognize. Nope, that's not going to count. Jay Addison asleep tonight. I've got my Tim Hortons coffee here, 1 cream. I think these boys need an espresso. I mentioned Jay Addison, one of the best teams in the country over the past couple of years. Just an off night tonight. Caden Stuckey, he's had a good night. Left-handed lay-in. Stuckey's got, I like him because he's got a big frame on him, and he's not afraid to use it. He wants that contact. He wants guys to bounce off him, which you don't see a lot at the high school level. Most kids shy away from the contact, whereas Stuckey almost wants to initiate it because he knows he's going to win that battle. And then again, 66-39, Orangeville hammering Jay Addison. Bates. Yeah, Ethan Harris, he's had a good second half. And then, now he goes down injured. And he's in pain, Ethan Harris. Looks like something to do with his leg. Well, I think it might just be a cramp, we're hoping. One of his teammates stretching it out. And I don't know if it is a cramp because he's in some kind of pain. Slapping the court. Well, this is not what Jay Addison needed. Down 25. We're now a hurt player. Well, it looks like it might just be a cramp because they're trying to stretch it out. So the football game tonight, which I hopefully get to watch, the 49ers Seahawks, that'll be a good one. Kicking off at 8:20. Got some college football on tonight. NCAA basketball, let's check in. Well, Seton Hall, USC Seton Hall, you got Jaden Bediaku, former Santa Clara guy. He played at Ridley for a few years, obviously the older brother of Charles Bediaku, signed with San Antonio Spurs, had a couple years at Alabama, was an All-American there. Watched Gonzaga beat UCLA late last night. Tulane beat Cal today, which is Fardaws Amick, big man from Canada, Mount BC. Scrolling through some of the other scores here. And he's being carried off, so this not looking good for Ethan Harris. He had a really good second half. Just scored again on that one. That's how he went down. And so just unfortunate. And again, the night Jay Addison's having, and then this is the icing on the cake for their tough evening. Well, plenty more NCAA hoops tonight. Boise State, Virginia Tech, Michigan, Stanford, and then late night, NC State, Vanderbilt. Yeah, I've talked to Jerry Stackhouse, coach down at Vanderbilt. I think he's going to get fired. And Jerry's one of my favorite college players ever. Former Raptors 905 coach. And Jay Addison pressing, and a steal, Zion Messam. And up and under, doesn't drop for Zion. Orangeville the other way. I mentioned, like, Vandy not off to a good start. Oh, lovely little up and under, Owen Kinney. Well, big shout out to Owen on his night. Oh, denied. Caden Stuckey, both ends of the floor. Big. Well, normally when I get home late night, I go back and watch the game. I don't think I'm going to watch this one again. Flores from the corner misses. Ethan Brown. Two-handed dunk for the Colgate commit. 70-41. Bates. No good. Jordan Bates missed on his three. Stuckey, easy lay-in. Caden Stuckey. So he's in the mix for player of the game. Stuckey, I think between him and Owen Kenny. Mahadi had a three, passed it up, and then tossed it to a guy who was out of bounds. Xavier Snag back in. Snag was at the Team Canada Next Generation camp where they invited 98 players this past summer, both on the men's and the women's side. I've had some fun calling some of the Orangeville women's games this year. Did Orangeville, it was Caden Stuckey missed, so I did Crestwood Prep, Niagara, Royal Crown Niagara. Who did I do? Crestwood and Royal Crown last week. There's Xavier Snag from the corner. Finally, something drops for Jay Addison. So, but really enjoying doing the women's games. So many elite players on the women's side. The Crestwood team just had 4 of their seniors sign, and they got a bunch of juniors who are all high-level players. Caden Stuckey, two-handed dunk. But you have to squeeze that one over the rim. Well, still for 2. 5:25 to go. Kwame, shot clock winding down, Messam. And everyone in the gym screaming the shot clock. And again, they threw it out of bounds. Yannifelli inbound. See if he's got another highlight reel dunk in him, maybe. Engen underneath to Stuckey. And he got his hand slapped. Should have been a foul, but I think the refs just keeping the whistle in their pocket, which I hope they do for the last 5 minutes here. Well, shades of Orangeville Prep passed with fourth quarter blowouts. That was the norm for many years, and then got away from that the past 2 seasons, where it was often sometimes on the other end of it. So this is refreshing, certainly from an Orangeville side of things. And good start to the Larry Blunt era. You know, obviously Larry just got back, came in late as well over the summer, rejoining Orangeville. And so he needs a year to kind of get all of his players in, I would say, before Orangeville can maybe regain that uber elite status. Really good from what I've seen. But I mean, Fort Erie still the cream of the crop right now. Fort Erie, the best team in the OSBA, hands down, just loaded top to bottom. I mean, they've got, 8 or 9 Division I players on their team. A couple commits already. Ashan Sharma to Virginia. Who's the kid? Christian Nitsu to Indiana State, already committed. Did I see, is Faubert commits? Olivier Faubert, I think I saw, just committed somewhere, I forget where. But then they've got Charrier, Mariela Kuntak, Chris Kumu, and Felix Caceres also committed to Colorado. They're loaded. And then Roll Crown as well, deep. And there's Kwame with a lay-in, which did Roll Crown's men's game against United Scholastic a couple weeks ago in Scarborough. Enjoyed that one. And Torian Lee, and one. So Lee not done. I've been impressed with what I've seen from him tonight. That was the question, you know, they have the size, Orangeville. Do they have the guard play? And obviously Engen has taken a big leap this season. Torian Lee has been a nice injection. So things looking good on the guard side of things. Certainly point guards as well for Orangeville. Osman up and under, no good. Rebound, Yannifelli. Jan from Ottawa, first year with Orangeville, one of the new guys, Stuckey. And no foul. Lee picks the pocket, ball bouncing around. Mahadi comes away with it. Kwame wanted the poster, but Yannifelli says, not on me. Gets a hand on that, a block. Ethan Brown from the corner, no good. It's funny, you know, I've done volleyball commentating for college and professional, and when you see Ethan Brown, he looks like a volleyball player. You can just see the hops in him. Osman, Flores. Snag to Mahadi, shot clock at 5. Osman, pull up. I was trying to look for the foul and draw it, but it didn't go. 3 minutes to go. And Brown with a careless pass. I don't like that. So he gives the ball away and then puts the hand over his mouth like, almost a child when he spills milk. Enough of that. Get back and make a block on defense, man. I know it's a 30-point ball game, but if you do that at the next level, you won't be playing a lot. Listen, you give it away, hustle back, man. Well, a pin drop you could hear in this gym tonight. Hopefully get the atmosphere picked up some of the other games. I think the score also contributing to the atmosphere maybe. Well, 2:48 remaining. Lee. Brooks. Ethan Brown. Good ball movement from Orangeville. And Ethan Brown with the finish. 79-47. Mahadi and traveled. Tough call from the ref. Kenny 3, bingo. Owen Kenny, he's had a night. So impressed with his growth over the past few months from the end of last season to now. He's becoming some player. And a travel. Ref showing no mercy. Oh, nice basket. Ollie Engen, backdoor cut. Good vision from J.C. Brooks. He's like, I see you. Gives him the eyes, the binoculars. Well, it's good to see Orangeville still got that hustle in them. Guys got to pad stats now. Still be Jay Addison ball. Why not, you know? 1:27 remaining. Mahadi directing traffic. And just thrown to three guys in a white jersey. Kenny. Why not? Owen's feeling it. Hey, man. Owen Kenny, have a night. Swish. 40-point lead. Orangeville Prep. Wow. And that one off from Jay Addison as well. Engen. Easy lay in Ollie Engen. 45 seconds to go. And Kenny again adding to his stat total. I wonder what he's got. He's got to have about 24 maybe? 22 at least? Somewhere in there. And this should do it. Well, hey, Orangeville in a cakewalk, 91-47. Tough night for Jay Addison. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back up here next week for an Orangeville Prep provincial game.